without integrity. But it is integrity or character that gives you the moral authority to lead. Hey, welcome to the Oscar Mrs. Leadership Podcast, where we equip people with high-capacity leadership tools to drive societal transformation. We believe, just like John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls as a result of leadership. We want to invite you to join us as we start thinking, how do we change the narrative of leadership wherever we are? It could be in that home, it could be in that office, it could be in that business, that government office. Can you imagine if we all worked on our leadership? The benefit that we'll have in our governments, in our politics, in our churches, in our corporations. And we've told you before that you don't need a title before or after your name for you to be a leader. You can lead where you are. You can influence the few people that are around you better, positively, for them to become better and turn around their situations. So again, like we've always said, if you like and if you benefit from what we are talking about every week, we are dropping a video. Would you kindly go to my YouTube channel, Oscar Mrs. Leadership Podcast, and subscribe? And once you subscribe, would you just go ahead and share it to the many people that you know that could benefit from what we are talking about? Please do that. And again, go to all the major podcast platforms. Subscribe, listen in and subscribe and share it with your friends. We are on all those major platforms. We're on Spotify. We are on Google Podcast. We are on Apple Podcast. Go in there and make sure that you subscribe. And then if you want to read what I'm teaching in greater detail, visit Amazon. Get my latest leadership book, Seed It Out, How Great Leaders Become Great Leader Makers. And I promise you, that will be the best decision you've made so far in your leadership journey. That book will sharpen your skills. That book will help you posture yourself right as a leader and also be able to envision, equip, and not only equip, but become a great leader maker. This week, we want to move on as we build up on what we introduced a couple of weeks ago on becoming a display leader. And a display leader, we defined a display leader as a great leader maker. And I'll just remind you that definition that we shared on the first episode, that definition of a display leader. A display leader, we said, is a leader who grows other leaders. It's a leader who grows other leaders, intentionally grows other leaders. We also said a display leader is a leader who creates opportunities. Not only do they create opportunities, but display leaders open doors for those that they are leading. That's what they do. Last week, we were talking about the makeup of a display leader, and we said this is the DNA of a display leader. We said a display leader is a platform creator. Intentionally goes out to create a platform for those that they're developing. You get to understand as leaders come up, sometimes they don't have the confidence or the networks for them to be able to thrive. They will need to benefit from the experience of those who've been there, done it before, to say, listen, let me create for you this platform so that from this platform, you can now start to learn to create your own platform. So we said a display leader is a platform creator. And we said for you to be effective as a platform creator, one, you must decide, I'm going to be a door and not a ceiling. We told you last week that a door gives one access, gives opportunity for access. A ceiling is a restriction. It's a limiting restriction that makes one not advance. Leaders have to make sure that anyone that they're developing become bigger, they become better, they advance and move on to that which they were purposed to become. You're becoming a door and not a ceiling. And we said not only do you become a door and not a ceiling, but you also intentionally create opportunities for people. You go out of your way to create opportunities. That's what a platform creator does. And they also help sustain the networks that they've created for the people. These are so key things. And we told you the second thing that is also as super important as the first one is that for you to be a good display leader, you must exhibit people value. We must learn as leaders to value people if we are to add value to people. That's the key lesson that we learned. That as a leader, you've got to learn to value the people in your team. Value the people that are directly reporting to you. Don't look down upon them. Don't use them as things. In fact, I made this statement. Don't you look at people as human doings. Look at people as human beings. Many times we have leaders who just look at the people they're developing, people who are working for them as tools and things to use. Listen, use things but value people. Use things but value people. People are important. People are the greatest asset that you can ever have as a leader. We told you, you value people by being simple. Interact with people. Don't insulate yourself from them. I know that leaders who talk about having a social distance. People can respect you even as you interact with them. Don't insulate yourself from the people that you're leading. How will you get to know their heartbeat? How will you get to understand and get to know their contribution if you insulate yourself from them because you're saying there has to be social distance? I don't want familiarity. And then many others come up with this statement that familiarity breeds contempt. No, people can respect you. People can be loyal to you. People can honor you even as you interact with them. Effective leaders are leaders who are able to interact with the people that they are leading. Be simple. Show candor. And in showing candor, it's kind of like unlocking their shine. Saying that I'll see potential inside of you. I will help you excavate it. And as it comes up, I'll keep on patting you on the back, keep on affirming you, keep on clapping for you, becoming your number one fan so that you can become that person that you're supposed to be. That's what a displayer does when they show value, when they exhibit people value. I want us to look at the qualities, in fact, I call them the legacy qualities that a legendary leader or a displayer leader must have. The legacy qualities that a legendary leader or a great leader maker must have. I'm going to share with you 3 qualities that I think are so critical that if you and I employ these qualities, if you and I work on these qualities as part of our leadership, then it will be as effective as ever. We'll become great leaders who are not just great leaders, but are great leader makers. Number 1, and we've talked about this, this is one of the key things for any displayer leader, any leader who wants to be effective, and that's why we'll say it again, it's character. Character is so key. Character is it's super, super important. Character or integrity, super important. You can't be a displayer leader. You cannot become a great leader maker if you do not pay attention to your character and to your integrity. And I'm saying this because around the world today, and you could be a witness to this, we have so many people who are in leadership positions who have got horrible character, who have no integrity. When we were starting this podcast, we said, for you as a leader, for you to have good character, you must be a leader who learns how to lead yourself. You can master yourself. And I think I said in some earlier podcasts and said, we have people in positions of leadership or who want to be in positions of leadership who have never learned how to lead themselves, who don't pay attention to their character, who have no integrity whatsoever. In fact, our downfall right now, our undoing, either in politics, you look at the politics of the world across the globe, not just in few countries, but the world is suffering from a leadership crisis. Why? Because we have people up there who want to be presidents and leaders in different aspects and spheres of government who have no integrity at all. And it is not just in politics and in government, but even in corporates. The corruption in corporates, the corruptions in our institutions is as a result of people who do not have integrity. Don't pay attention. Don't even put importance on integrity. Not only that, but even in churches, where some of us are part of, we have people in churches, in religious institutions, who talk character, talk integrity, but they have no integrity whatsoever. Listen, a gentleman, a leader that I follow, that I listened to once made this statement and said, you can lead without integrity, but it is integrity or character that gives you the moral authority to lead. You can lead without integrity, but it is integrity or that positive character that gives you the moral authority to lead. I'm going to challenge you. You're a leader. You're leading teams. You're leading people around you. Would you work on having a great character that people can model, people can follow after? Why? Because your character is who you really are. You see, your reputation is merely what others think of you. What others think that you are, that's your reputation. But your character is who you really are. Listen to this statement. Take care of your character or your integrity, and your leadership legacy will take care of itself. Take care of your character or your integrity, and your leadership legacy will take care of itself. So number one quality of a legendary great leader maker is good character, good integrity. So number one is character. Number two is compassion. Compassion. See, leadership can never be effective and humane if there is no compassion in it. I think this is important for you to hear it again. That leadership can never be effective and humane if there is no compassion in it. Leaders must be compassionate. Leaders have to be compassionate. They've got to be compassionate. You've got to care about people. The smallest details that concern the people that you lead. Leadership must be humane and compassionate. See, compassionate leaders are able to work with and connect with people around them as they inspire and empower them to become better. A compassionate person is able to work with and interact with people around them. And that doesn't make them stop from inspiring them and empowering them to become better. A leader is like a parent. I mean, you're in that position of leadership. Hear me. You are like a parent. You've got to take care of the people that are around you. You've got to be compassionate. You must be merciful. You must be somebody who feels what they're going through. Don't just be a leader who backs orders and gets people to push and you drive them like things and motor vehicles. No. Take time and find out, how are they doing? Where are they at? That's compassion. I mean, as a leader, and I'll tell you practical example, somebody that you're leading is sick. Take some time and find out what's happening. They've been bereaved. Take some time off and stand and support them. That's compassion. That's what a leader does. A leader doesn't just say, oh, what concerns me here, what's important to me, is just you driving the vision and making sure that the vision works. No. Compassion has to be there. Listen to this statement. Creating a leadership legacy is not leaving something for people. It is leaving something in people. Listen, creating a leadership legacy is not just about leaving something for people. It is leaving something in people. So number one, quality character. Number two, compassion. And then number three, courage. See, as a leader, you must be courageous. Because leadership is not easy. Leadership is tough. I mean, a leader is like the driver. A leader is not a passenger. A leader is a driver. You're driving that car and something happens. You can't disembark. You can't even abandon the car. You've got to sit in and fix it. That's what a leader does. And for you to do stuff like that, you need to be courageous because a leader has to make decisions, sometimes very unpopular decisions. A leader has to, make decisions for the betterment of the organization or the entire group of people. That needs courage. You can't be a coward and lead. In fact, if you're a coward, you can never be an effective leader. You've got to be courageous. A leader has to make decisions. You have to be decisive. It's only people who are courageous who can be decisive. As a leader, you must trust your guts and be courageous enough to take calculated risks. Leaders take risks. That's what leaders do. So you've got to be courageous. Legacy-mindedness, thinking about something that will outlast you, requires courage. It's only courageous people who say, I'll think generationally. I'll be able to develop people who will take the space where I am at. Courage You need courage to go against the grain of what conventional leadership is all about, that says you've got to just lord it over people, boss it over people, and start serving them. That takes courage. Takes a lot of courage. You've got to be able to overcome the fear of thinking that when you create a platform for others, you become irrelevant. Sometimes that's what hits us. When we think about being display leaders, we think, if I can create a platform for somebody else, they'll come and, outdo me, they'll become better, and maybe I'll become irrelevant. No. You need courage to understand, listen, the more I create platforms, the more I develop and multiply myself, the more influential I become. That takes courage. Conventional leadership says, no, just do it for yourself, let it end with you. But courage helps you think, no, it doesn't have to just be me. I've got to develop those that are around me. So those are the 3 qualities that I want to share with you today of great leader makers, display leaders. Remember, this is what we've said. You need character. It is super important for you to have great character. You can lead without character, but it's only character that gives you the moral authority to lead. We've said you need compassion. Be humane. Show compassion to the people that you lead. Be compassionate. It's key and it's important. Number 3, be courageous. Leadership is not easy. You've got to be courageous. You've got to trust your guts and take calculated risks. If this has helped you, because I want to stop there, I want to encourage you to go to my YouTube page, Oscar and Mrs. Leadership Podcast. Again, like I've always said, go and subscribe. And don't just subscribe, I want you to share it to those that you know this will benefit them. And then visit all the major podcast platforms, subscribe and share. And as I've always said, you want to get this information in greater detail, go to Amazon, get my latest leadership book, Seed It Out, How Great Leaders Become Great Leader Makers. See you again next week as we continue to build on this conversation on how to become a display leader who grows others, develops those around him, creates opportunities, and open doors to the leaders that they are developing. Become a great leader maker this week. See you next week.